Do you hear that?
Hi, everyone. My name is Anthony Escobedo, the Chief Naturalist at Dunes Learning Center, a residential environmental learning center located inside the Indiana Dunes National Park. After finding an old article, we've embarked on an adventure together to track what I believe is our local Bigfoot, whom I call Sand Squatch. This is the search for Sand Squatch. Here's the evidence we've gathered so far.
After finding an old article, we talked to Professor Audrew, an expert in cryptozoology, who gave us a map. Using a compass and the map, we were able to find the old field station of his team. There, we met with Mrs. Lupin, a local homeowner who told us that strange noises come from beyond the creek bed. After we investigated along the creek bed, we found what appears to be the track of Sandsquatch. We were following these tracks until we found some scat and learned that scat can tell scientists a ton of information. Using this information, we confirmed that it must belong to Sandsquatch. As we continued to explore, we found something in a pile of leaves. So when we were walking through the forest here, I noticed that I seen this kind of white sticking up out of the leaves. If we move the leaves aside, it's some bones. So there's two types of bones here. One of them is a skull, and the other one, not really sure what this is to. But I knew this one was a skull because it has the eye sockets and it's kind of got a snout. And then there's also teeth here. I'm going to get out my journal so we can take some notes. So there's two bones. One of them seems to be a skull. The other one is some type of thicker bone. We found it here in the forest. And it was underneath some of these leaves. And it was next to this log here. And I'm going to get a picture of it next to my foot to kind of keep in size reference with the rest of what we've been finding. Before we give my colleague a call, I have a few of our W questions that I want to ask. My first question is, what animals have bones? My second question is, why are the bones in the forest? My third question is, what can bones tell us? And my fourth question is, what animal has a skull with a snout and big eyes like this? Based on the evidence that we've had up to this point, I hypothesize that this has to be Sandsquatch. I just hope that we're not too late. So let's give my colleague a call and see what information we can get.
Hi, Anthony.
Hey, so I'm exploring around the Indiana Dunes and I came across a pile of bones that I'm not really familiar with. I was hoping maybe you could help answer some questions for me.
Yeah, sure, of course. I got lots of time.
So, do all animals have bones?
Do all animals have bones? No, not all animals have bones. Animals with bones, those are going to be animals that we like to call vertebrates. And so vertebrates are going to be animals with bones, but the backbone specifically. And those are going to be our animals like mammals, like you and me, and squirrels, and rabbits, and your cat at home, your dog at home. And then also vertebrates are going to be like reptiles, amphibians, fish, birds. Animals without bones, without backbones, those are going to be the animals we like to call invertebrates. And so those are mainly going to be insects. They don't have bones, they don't have a backbone.
So, if I was like exploring in the forest and I found a pile of bones, why would there be bones in the forest?
Well, there's bones in the forest because something died there. So something either could have been killed by a predator or it could have just died of natural causes, just like how humans die when we get old. Animals also die when they get old.
So then what happened to the rest of the animal?
Well, all parts on an animal, they're going to decompose. But the other parts of the animal, the meat, the fur, the skin, the fat, that sort of thing, those parts decompose a lot quicker than the bones. The bones take a lot longer to decompose.
So, is there anything that like a scientist would use to gather information using the bones?
Yeah, so scientists can learn a lot about bones and about the animal that those bones belong to. So specifically, when you look at the skull, scientists can find out a lot about the animal. And so when you look at the eyes on a skull, that tells whether the animal is going to be a predator animal or a prey animal. So we humans, we are going to be more of a predator animal. We have eyes in the front. So with like big cats, coyotes, that sort of thing, they are often looking for animals to kill. But then when we think of eyes on the side, like deer or bunny rabbits, those are going to be the prey animals. Those animals are normally the ones getting killed by predators.
Okay, so we look at the eyes. Is there anything else that we can look at on a skull?
Yeah, so you can look at a lot, but specifically the teeth. The teeth are really, really important. And so depending on how the teeth are shaped and arranged, that can tell a lot, well, it can tell everything about what an animal is eating. So animals can either be herbivores, omnivores, or carnivores. So an herbivore is going to be an animal with really ridged teeth that are used for grinding. So that would be when you open your mouth and you stick your finger on the inside, or when you're brushing your teeth, you notice that you have those big molars in the back. Those are going to be teeth that herbivores have. Carnivores are a little different. Carnivores have really pointy, sharp teeth, and those carnivores are eating meat. So they use those teeth to rip and tear apart their prey. And so omnivores are going to be animals with both of those types of teeth because they eat both plants and both animals. So omnivores are going to be us humans. We eat both plants. We eat both animals. Well, some of us at least, not us vegetarians.
So what animal would have a skull that has like eyes on the side of the head? It's got flat teeth, but it also seems like it has like a snout, like it's kind of far out.
Yeah, so most likely that's going to be a deer. Deers have really long snout, and that's because they graze on plants all day long, well, a lot of the day, and they graze for a very long time. That helps them keep on grazing. And then they also have eyes on the side of their head. Deer, like I said, are they're prey animals. And so with those eyes on the side of their head, while they are grazing most of the day, they are able to look out and see if predators are coming nearby.
Okay. Are giant squirrels also grazers?
Giant squirrel? What?
Nothing. Never mind. I gotta go. Thanks, Bella.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, guys, so we just learned a bunch of information about bones. Specifically, we learned how we can use a skull to tell us what kind of animal it is. This skull has a lot of molars here, so it makes me believe that this is probably an herbivore, herbivores can also eat nuts and seeds, which is consistent with our evidence that we found in our scat. Based on the picture that Bella sent us, I think this is probably a deer, so my hypothesis is not confirmed. I hope this whole time we haven't been tracking a giant deer. Or what if what we've been tracking this whole time eats deer? This just got a lot more spooky. We should probably start to head back. It's going to get dark soon.
All right, guys. I really think that we're onto something here. And remember when Mrs. Lupin said that she heard strange noises at night? Well, what if this animal is nocturnal and only comes out at night? I say we go on a night hike in the name of science.
I'm scared.